Hi, I'm Nathaniel German, but basically everyone calls me Nate. Except for a few. They call me Paprika, but that's an entirely different story for an entirely different time. I grew up in a Christian home until it caught on fire, and we had to leave because of smoke damage. When we came back, it was Rastafarian, so that was weird. But being raised in the church was good. My family attended every single Sunday since I can remember. And I remember being saved at about the age of 7. And I remember my relationship with Christ truly beginning then. But slowly but surely it faded. And it's my fault that I allowed it to. I grew up in the church, but I didn't really connect with anyone in the church. I don't know if it was my fault or their fault. It's probably a mixture of both. I was homeschooled until 6th grade. Then after that, went to a private school. And because of this, I kind of struggled with my social skills. So I'm going to say most of the struggle with making relationships was there. But as time went on, I just didn't connect with anyone in the church. And we moved churches, and there were even fewer people there to actually connect with. But in this time, I started to get depressed. I started to question whether or not Christianity was true. And so I wrestled with it, and I wanted to try and get to the bottom of it and to work through it myself, as I think everyone should. But I came to the question, what I think is the root question is there a God? And if there is a God, then awesome. I think we can work our way through it. We can get to Christianity, and it makes sense. If there is no God, then there's no purpose. There's no ground in anything. There can be no purpose that originates within itself. That is logically does not make sense. At least it doesn't to me. And so I resolved that if there was no God, if there was no ground, no beginning within itself, that which is no greater, that which has no beginning, then there's no reason to live. And so I determined that if there was no God, then I should kill myself. But I knew that I wasn't able to do that. I knew what it would do to my parents and to my family if I did that. So I didn't. I knew their love. And I knew that there was a root within the love that they showed. And so I lived within that. In that time period, from about 9th grade to 11th grade, I didn't walk faithfully with Christ. I know I didn't. But I knew he was there. I knew he existed. I didn't understand him or what he was doing, but I knew he was there. And that was enough. Until my 11th grade year. I had remained super introverted, probably still because of the struggles with social awkwardness. But my parents decided that it was time to move. And so we moved from Glasgow, Kentucky to Lexington, Kentucky. And the few friends that I had, I said goodbye to. And I've occasionally seen them since. But when we moved to Lexington, I expected that I might make 1 or 2 friends and that I would move away in a year. That I'd go to college somewhere, maybe Messiah College, I don't know, maybe that's why I was wearing the shirt. But something happened. God led us to Jessamine Christian Fellowship. And there, he showed me what the church was supposed to be. At least much of it. At least the best version I've ever seen. Because of my upbringing in the church, I'd become very cynical about it and disillusioned in general about the church. I didn't believe that the Church of Acts, the true Church of Christ, actually existed anymore. I was fairly convinced that that was a thing of the past and that it was hopeless for it to ever be founded again, truly. Until I came to JCF, and then I met people who were living the Christian life as it was meant to be lived, at least as best I can tell. I'm not very wise yet, but the people there seemed to love each other. And so I decided that I couldn't leave. I decided that I wanted to stay. So I went to University of Kentucky. And all of them suggested that when the time came that I should attend Christian training school, CTS. And so I did. And it has been awesome. The only days that God has not thoroughly been here are the days that I didn't want him to be. And I'm sorry to admit that there were a few days that I didn't want him to be. But he pressed through regardless. And he showed me a lot of things. But one of the primary ones is that all things must be fully submitted unto him. And anything that is not submitted unto him has no true purpose. And that its end is destruction. So he showed me that. And he's taught me a lot. And he's given me faith that he has a plan